Yo, WB, what's going on? And what's up, Eddie? How are you doing? Now, let me just turn my... Well, we'll keep the Wi-Fi and the data on for the time being. What's up, Kaylin? What's Robin, the real one? And hello, Fatima. How are you guys doing today? Now, you're going to have to excuse me because I'm still finishing my tea. But I didn't want to be too late to stream. I'm already late to stream, but I didn't want to be late to stream. So I hope you guys are doing well. Eddie says, did you see my Discord message? No, I've not seen your Discord message. I've actually been off Discord for a day or so, Eddie. So I'll check that out after the stream. But thanks for reaching out. And big up to everyone tuning in right now. Now, WB says noodles. These are not noodles. This is actually pasta. I was just filming a short, so I'm going to do a short on these on this pasta. It's called fusilli longhi. Never had it before in my life. It's a shame, now that I've eaten, you can't really see it. It just looks like just little short bits of noodles. But these are like long bits of pasta. Never tried it before. And it's really good. It reminds me of like almost like udon noodles, but with more of a, almost like a slightly chewier texture from the spiral. Very good. But it is reminiscent of udon noodles. So yeah, video coming for that one. And what's up, Sterny? Good to see you in the chat. And thank you, Eddie, for the pinnable comment. Let me pin that. Let me see. There we go. First time lucky. Boom, we're pinned. And what's up, Jazz? My Canadian tow truck queen, tuning in from all the way over in Saskatchewan, Canada. Good to see you, Jazz. Hope you're doing well. And good to see everyone vibing in the chat. Like I said, you guys are going to have to help me out for a minute and keep the chat going while I finish off this pasta. Because otherwise, if I start reading comments and chatting before I know it, this will be stone cold. So I'll finish this off and I'll try and read some comments as I go. So anyone joining, this is some last of some pasta. Looks like noodles, but it's actually fusilli longhi. Never tried this type of pasta before in my life. I've just filmed the rest of it. The footage of this is going to be a YouTube short, so look out for that one coming soon. I'm doing well, and thank you for bearing with me while I finish off my food. I know I'm missing some comments, but I will do my absolute best to catch up with them. And what's up to you, Jimmy Jazz? You say slap your fingers on the like button, gang. Thank you so much, Jimmy Jazz. And if you're out there and enjoying the vibe, firstly, subscribe to join the vibe, and secondly, consider giving your boy a little to that like button. Last I heard, it cost $0, £0, 0 Ds, 0 yen. So what can I say? Show a little love. I've said it like 3 minutes, but I'm going to say it once more. If you're just tuning in, I'm finishing off some, I don't know if you can see it, some pasta. Now, this is a type of pasta called fusilli longhi. I've never had it before in my life. And unfortunately, because I've eaten, most of it already, I snapped all the pieces, but it's very long pieces normally. Like, the pieces were like this long, and they were like spiral pasta. So yeah, very good. As I was just saying, it's almost like udon noodles. The texture is like udon noodles, quite chewy. I've never had pasta like this before, but you know what? Let's go crazy. Let's go wild and try some new pasta. So that's exactly what I've done. And if you enjoy food, make sure you hit subscribe, because my channel is about positive vibes first and foremost, but it's also about sharing my adventures in food. And I think I might trying to have some like new different types of food, you know? Like, I love sharing like my life in food, but maybe it'd be fun to show you guys some of the fun stuff I eat as well, or try some stuff anyway, like this pasta. What's up, Freddie? Good to see you in the chat then. And to everyone else I've missed, thank you for keeping the chat going. Like I said, normally I'm not eating on stream, but I was already late to stream, and I knew that if I was any later, I wouldn't be eating if I don't eat. I get a little bit grumpy. I'm one of those people, when they don't eat for a while, I get a bit grumpy. So appreciate you guys bearing with me whilst I finish this food off. And once I do, I will get back up to speed with all of your comments. Delicioso. And hello to you, Amber. Like I was just telling the troops, I am currently eating some pasta, a specific type of pasta called fusilli longhi, which I've never tried before or had in my life. It's nice. And like I say, just before this stream, I was filming footage on my new camera, so I'm going to hopefully turn that into a YouTube short. So stay tuned for that. I'll probably put that out tomorrow. I'll edit it tonight or tomorrow and then release it sometime tomorrow, so look out for that one. But in any case, just while I finish this food off, I hope you guys are doing really well and have had a lovely weekend. It is currently 8:09 here in the UK. I'm chilling. I can see there's 34 people that have just tuned in, and right now I'm finishing pasta. Now, like I was telling the guys, I've said it about 4 times in the last 5 minutes, but this is a type of pasta I've never tried before. Unfortunately, when I started eating it, there was massive pieces, it's like that long. But I've kind of bitten them down to size now. But this is called fusilli. Never had it before. It's very nice. It's like udon noodles. So look out for the YouTube short coming tomorrow. If you are new here, for the love of everything good in this world, make sure you hit subscribe to join the vibe, because thanks to the awesome community you've got around here, we are growing and we're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. So when it happens, I think more and more, the more I'm thinking about it, I think when we hit 1,000 subscribers, I'll do a few different things, but one of the things I want to do is to give away 100 pieces of fruit. I know it sounds crazy, and it'd be cooler to do 100 pieces of fruit for 1,000 subs, but I think 100 pieces of fruit is a good start. So that's my plan for 1,000 subscribers. So like I say, hit the subscribe button, become part of the crew. We've got a lovely community of people, and as soon as I finish this food, I will be doing shout outs. And if you are new here, genuinely jump in the chat and say hello, because it's a very, very friendly group of people got around here. I can see a few comments coming up about exams. So to anyone who's out there who's been studying at the moment, I hope it's been going well. And to anyone who's working a day job, shout out to you as well, because I know how much of a grind that can be. I mean, that like I don't work a day job. I do work a day job, so that's why I know what it's like to be grinding at a day job. So shout out to everyone out there. What's up to you, Foxy? Mr. Fox in the house. Hello. Mr. Fox, always an absolute pleasure. I hope you're doing well today, my friend. I'm just finishing off some food, as you can see. And once I do, it'll be full attention on the chat, so thanks for bearing with me, everybody. Delicious. I used to be a bit more self-conscious of eating on camera, whereas now I'm just like, you know what? We all eat food. We all go a bit crazy. Like, some people, don't get me wrong, are very tidy eaters. Myself, if the camera wasn't on, I'd be even more just like a wild beast. But at some point, at the same time, I'm like, you know what? We all eat food. I'm just gonna eat it. I'm not gonna be self-conscious. I'm just gonna eat it and not worry about it. What's up, Super Joel? You say, what are you eating? So, Super Joel, I'm currently finishing off some pasta. A type of pasta that I've never had before. Now, is this a longer piece now? Unfortunately, all of the pieces are shorter now. But when I started, they were all like big, long pieces, and I kind of, as I've gone, I've bitten them, and they've become much shorter. But very nice. As I say, this type of pasta is called fusilli longhi, and it's like udon noodles. If anyone watched this, it's how udon noodles. That's what this pasta reminds me of. But because it's got, let me show you. Because it's got a spiral in it as well, that creates like an additional bit of, not toughness, but a sort of elasticity almost. So it's quite like a chewy noodle. But I don't know about you guys, but I like with my noodles, I like them to be a little bit, not hard, but do you know what I'm saying, with a bit of chew in them, not cooked. I think that's in Italy as well. The same sort of principle. They have like al dente pasta. So yeah, nice. What I'm saying is, if you ever get a chance to try fusilli longhi, would recommend. And just while I'm finishing this food, if you are out there, as always, you know I want to know where people are tuning in from. So I know we've got people like Sterny in the chat watching from Ireland. We've got Foxy out of Durham. We've got Jazz over in Canada. I believe I saw Fatima here earlier. She's from Pakistan. So I know we've got people tuning in from all over the world. So if you are watching right now, please jump in the chat and tell me where you're from. I always love hearing where people are from. I never get tired of it. In fact, as I've said many, many times before, it's one of my favourite things about streaming. It's about connecting with people in real time, hearing where people are from, what their story is. For example, there's a guy, like one of the older school viewers, who called Neju, and he tuned in and he works in a hotel in India, I believe in New Delhi. And that's super cool. I just love knowing out there somewhere right now. Well, not now because I don't think he's watching the stream. But the point is when he tunes in, that we have people watch from these different places. For example, Fatima is tuning in Pakistan, so thousands of miles away, different time zone, different continent. Never mind country, different continent. We've got different people tuning in, so I like that. I found that cool. And as always, I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you've had a good day and a good weekend as well. It's Sunday night at the moment. Maybe for some people watching, it's like early hours of Monday, but right now for me, it's Sunday evening. I've had a nice weekend, honestly. It's been chilling. And I say that, I had to work on Saturday morning, so that wasn't very chilling. But it's been chilling. I caught up with a friend yesterday. I went for a walk this morning. I did some exercise. Probably worked out for the first time in a couple of weeks. And that felt good. That felt really good. I've done like little bits and pieces here and there, but not like a proper, like a proper session where I commit an hour or so. So that felt really good. And as always, huge love to everybody getting chatting in the chat, especially in times like these when I'm eating. So I really do appreciate you guys keeping the chat so active and making it interesting. Ooh. Oh, 1% battery. All right, boom. And we're back in the game. How is everybody doing? Forgive my dishevelled hair. But I hope you're all doing well. And thank you for persevering with me while I ate that food. Now that, just saying because I made it, was really nice. Really nice indeed. And it was really simple as well. Oh, I feel good now. I feel good. Right, let me get back to the we're catching up. Jazz checking in with the Canadian flag. Foxy says, I'm hungry. Mr. Fox, it could be supper time for you in a bit then. Foxy says, work on a weekend. No. This is the thing, Mr. Fox. This is the thing. So as you guys know, and like I've said to you before, if you know who I am in real life, please don't talk to my boss. But this is one of the reasons why I actually want to leave my job, guys. I'm not bashing on where I work. I'm really not, because I'm grateful for the opportunity, especially in the current. Well, to be fair, I got the job before the economy got quite as bad as it did. But my point stands is that I'm grateful for the opportunities they gave me. But where I work, one of the deals of the job, deals of the role, is that you have to work one Saturday morning a month. So, and that sometimes translates into more than one a Saturday month, because you might have like 3 or 4 off, but then Sunday you're in for like 1, and then you're off, then you're in again. It's like, so at least one month I have to do it a Saturday morning on top of my day job, to 9 to 5, Monday to Friday. And personally, like, don't get me wrong, it's good to work hard. And I know some people in the world work crazy hours and they work 6 days a week or more days a week. So I'm not trying to be loading up, but for me personally, if working for somebody else, I want to do 5 days and then go home and have my chill time. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to be coming in on the 6th day. Unless it's for like crazy money and it's my choice, and right now it's neither of those things. So to Fox, unfortunately, that is the Foxy says sick week next week. I've not pulled any keys. I must say, I've not pulled any sickies. I've been very good like that. So yeah. Interesting. So Amber earlier on asked the question, "What's everyone's favourite food?" And she says, "Mine's a spice bag or a baked potato." Good to see that a baked potato has made it into your top foods of all time, Amber. I rate that. I really do. Spice bag, I've never tried. Would like to try one. A vegan, obviously, at some point. You could definitely get like a vegan spice bag in Ireland. There's probably some really good ones, I imagine. But yeah, baked potato. Shout out baked potatoes for real while we're on the subject. And user FO9 says, eat berries. I do eat berries. I had berries earlier on today. Good advice from you, user FO9. And thank you, Amber, for the comment about your food looks yummy. I love pasta. Yeah, I love pasta too. I really do. Pasta, noodles, all of that good stuff. And Fatima is back. Well, she probably was back about 10 minutes ago, but I'm just in comments. So shout out to Fatima if she's still here. And you know what? In a minute, I'm going to get to the bottom of the comments and I'm going to just scroll up and shout at everybody that I see. So if you're out there right now, if you're watching this stream, say hello in the comments. I'm about to give some shout outs. So that being said, I'm at the bottom of the chat. So let's go. Shout out to Keelan. Shout out to Sturny. Shout out to Eddie. Shout out to Amber. Shout out to HG. Shout out to Jazz, of course. Shout out to... Who else have I missed? Who's here right now and I'm not shouting them out? There must be someone. Shout out to Fatima. Everybody else that's watching the stream right now, big up to yourself. There's 24 people, and I've only shouted out about 10 people. So if you're out there, this is a personal shout out to you. I've just finished eating. Now, if you've just tuned in, you missed me eating some food, which I know is earth-shattering news, the most exciting event of the century. But for real, it was some really nice pasta, and I'm going to keep wagging my finger for effect because it's very nice pasta. It was like a long spirally type of pasta I've never had before. So make me a follow because tomorrow I'm going to drop the YouTube short of the pasta that I just had for tea, which was genuinely really good. And I don't know if you will have tried that type of pasta because it's not one I've seen before. So yeah, I'm going to do some more of foodie review type of stuff, like reviewing unusual stuff that I've tried before. And even if nobody watches them, it's going to be an excuse for me to try some new food. So win-win. Maybe I'll become a viral superstar overnight. Maybe I'll just eat fast food, but it's going to be a good look. All right, then. With that being said, have I missed anybody? Oh, and Foxy, of course. Shout out to Mr. Fox. Missed him. And he says, was brownie video? I think that's meant to say, where is the brownie video? He's like, pay up. Time to pay. Where's the brownie video? Give us it now. And Foxy, my dearest mother has been away, but she's back, and I've got no excuses. And actually, I do have some ripe bananas that that's one of the key ingredients of those brownies. So the chocolate brownies that I often show on the channel, one of the key ingredients is ripe banana. So the stars could be aligned, Foxy. Stay tuned next couple of days. Realistically, the next short might be this pasta one as I've just filmed it. After that, stay tuned. Okay, I feel like I've missed something. Just Another Loser says, hi, what's up to you, Just Another Loser? And Sturny says, Edward, I need that brownie recipe. Coming soon, Sturny. And listen, I'm not going to gatekeep it because it's not even my recipe to gate. And it's so simple. Like I'll tell you the ingredients now because it's that crazy simple. And then when I show you the method, you'll be like, oh, is this the recipe? It's like basically just 4 things. But it's basically mashed banana, like mashed ripe banana, peanut butter, cocoa powder. And I think those are literally the 3 main constituents of it. And it's crazy because if you try it in real life, I promise you, sometimes it's really cakey. It's not like I love peanut butter, but it's not like thick, clayy peanut butter is. It's like, I don't know, it's really crazy. The banana in combination with the peanut butter and the cocoa powder. It comes out like a brownie. It's crazy. It really is. And you can add other fruit there as well. So anyway, we'll do the video properly. And once I get my mum to remind me of how to make it, and then we'll go for there. Little Native Mama is back in the chat. What's up, Little Native Mama? Long time no see. It feels that way. How are you doing? You say, I'm making zucchini parm, which in English is courgette. She says, I don't feel like eggplant, which in English, aubergine. So I'm switching it up a bit. When I say English, I mean like British English, English rather than American English. Weirdly, I was in Mallorca recently, and lying on the beach next to me were a couple of Americans, and they were like, oh yeah, like arugula, like I got to, like in Europe they call it rocket, like I don't know why that is, because like the plant name is arugula, so why don't they just call it arugula? And I wanted to pipe up like, well actually, we do call it rocket, but I was like, you know what, not a thing, I'll just let it go. And I wasn't really beefing with them, but it's one of those where I did want to like just chip in on the conversation, but at the same time, if I was lying on the beach and someone was just like, conversation, it might be cool, but it might be a bit like, all right mate. So yeah, that was that one. Fatima said, who made that pasta, Edward? That was me, Fatima. I made the pasta. I actually didn't make the pasta itself. The brand is, I can get it in a bit. The brand was not one I've seen before, but it had, it could have been, who knows, it could have been mass produced in flipping Huddersfield for all I know. But I think it actually was legitimately produced in Italy. So yeah, as I say, stay tuned. I will show you the packet of that, and it was good. It wasn't like as cheap as chips like normal pasta is, but it wasn't expensive. Don't get me wrong. It wasn't like I was spending £5 on some like a pack of pasta. It's still only a couple of quid. It was good. Foxy says pure gatekeeper for the brownie recipe. Not at all, man. Not at all. Some stuff I will admit. Some stuff I think it is like, I think tactically in life, although it's a selfish attitude, some things you kind of do have to gatekeep. Just because in the world that we live in, you can get wrecked. For example, let's say you know a beauty spot. It's a hidden gem that nobody knows about. But then you get these accounts online that will be like, oh, hidden gem in the Peak District or wherever. and 100,000 people like the post, and all of a sudden, what was a hidden gem is no longer a hidden gem. And it's nice that people can enjoy that space and also enjoy it, but it's changed from being like a hidden gem. That was a special thing about it, was that it was really nice, and not many people knew about it. So it's selfless in life to share with people, share with your friends, share with strangers. But I do also believe that in some situations you have to be a bit tactical with kind of what you share, if that makes sense. Okay, I'm scrolling it down. And interesting. So Amber says, for my breakfast, I had a fry. Now, in England, we'd always say a fry up. We'd never say a fry. But I believe in Ireland, or Northern Ireland, they would say a fry. Small detail, but interesting to me. And good to see you, Bailey. I hope you're doing well. You say I'm the best I can be, Kaylin. Well, as always, Bailey, we're here for you, and we hope you're doing, as you say, as well as you can be. Amber says, you suit Green Edward. Thank you. Appreciate that, Amber. I do. And you say, what have you eaten today? Great question. I love that. One of my favourite questions. So this morning for breakfast, I had some sourdough toast with some peanut butter and some Marmite on top. Don't know whether you guys like Marmite or not. Let me know. So yeah, 2 bits of sourdough toast with some peanut butter and Marmite on top. And then I also had a chopped up banana, some blueberries, and some goji berries as well. That was my breakfast, and it was very nice, I must say. Nice for like a weekend, like a lighter breakfast. As you know, I eat porridge like every single day of my life, but today I thought, you know what? I've got this nice bread. Let's go mad and have some toast. So I did. And then I came back, I did a workout, and then after that, I had protein shake. And after that, for lunch, now, if anyone follows me on TikTok, you will see the last post I did today. It was just like a slide of photos, and that was a lunch I had. It was an anti-inflammatory salad. Oh, that's what I called it. But honestly, basically all the salads I make are anti-inflammatory just because of the plant foods that are in them. This is the crazy thing about a plant-based diet. You don't have to look for like healthy foods because you're just already naturally eating them. So anyway, it was like a lettuce. It was like lettuce based, tomato, avocado, and then I roasted some chickpeas and some hummus, roasted some chickpeas and tofu in the oven, and then just add the salad. What else did I put on it? Um, was that it? Maybe that was, then I had some kimchi in the side as well. So really good. So as I say, if you follow me on TikTok, EdwardCares, that was the last post I put up. And like I say as well, I branded it, kind of positioned it as an anti-inflammatory salad, high fiber and high protein, which it was. But that's to say the beautiful thing with a plant-based diet is like you don't even need to look for anti-inflammatory foods, because if you're eating like, if you're already eating what do you call it, kimchi, if you're already eating salad, you're already things which are naturally inflammatory. So it's really cool. So like I say, even if you don't go fully vegan, cannot recommend enough to you guys eating more plant foods. It will change your life. And Sterney, going on back to the point earlier I made about in Ireland they say fry rather than fry up, and Sterney has confirmed. And Foxy's saying, what, they call a fry per fry? That's bizarre. Seems a bit bizarre to me, Foxy. I'm letting it slide, but yeah. Oh no, Foxy doesn't like Marmite or peanut butter, so that's not a thumbs up from Mr. Fox for my breakfast. Maybe he would have liked the banana, sliced banana, blueberries, and goji berries. Maybe Foxy could have got behind that part of the meal. And Amber says, sounds like a healthy day, Edward. You know what, Amber? It was quite a healthy day, and it was nice. And actually, have I had anything else to eat? I've had a few other bits as well, but I had brownies as well, to be fair. They were good. And then the main thing else I had was that pasta you just saw me eat. And that's taking us to now, so here we go. What's up to you, Uzi? Good to see you in the chat. And Amber said I had chicken nuggets and chips for my lunch. Contraband. Total contraband to my veganic ears. It's in. But the chips, to be fair, shout out to chips. Like, I was just weird to think about this. Like, chips are great. And think about how many countries love chips. It's one of the most international foods at this point. I wonder if chips are getting big in China. I actually don't know. I think legitimately, because I know in India, for example, they like chips and fries and stuff like that. But in China, are chips a thing? I don't know. If anyone's been to China who's watching this stream right now, let me know. Are chips a thing in China? And Foxy said, we got goji berries in the cupboard. They're hard as hell, though. Yeah, that's why I normally put them in porridge, Foxy. Yeah. Oh, I said that. Yeah, I said that right. I nearly thought I said put it in Poxy, but no. That's why I put the goji berries in porridge, Foxy. They're good, man. I really would recommend. I mean, you already have them. To anyone again watching, try goji berries out. They're dried, so they'll last for ages in your freezer. I can't even speak tonight, guys. Goji berries are dried, so they'll last for a long time in your cupboard, and you can add them to things like porridge, kind of like
plumps them up a little bit, it makes them less dried. So super good. Can't recommend berries enough to you. Even if you're watching this stream right now and you scroll away because you think I'm boring, eat more berries. I promise you, it will do lots of good things for you. And someone with a Japanese username, now I'm not saying that to be disrespectful, I just genuinely can't read the Japanese characters. You say, hello Incredible Hulk, green suits you very well. Called me the Incredible Hulk before, you're not the first, probably won't be the last, but thank you for the compliment. Amber says, I usually skip breakfast as I struggle with morning sickness. Fair enough. I know a lot of people actually, both men and women, who don't have breakfast morning. They just say, I feel sick when I wake up. And I'm pretty sure, Amber, when you say morning sickness, you don't mean that as in terms of like you're pregnant. So I know a lot of people who, again, get queasy in the morning, they feel sick in the morning, and they skip breakfast. But I know it's difficult, but I really do think if you can adjust your body to having breakfast on the morning, even if it's something like, it's like some people say breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Now, is that true or not? I don't know. And some people don't like to have a heavy breakfast before they go out. But I definitely think hydrating in the morning, drinking some water, and even if you have something light like fruit, yogurt if you can, I feel it's good to have something on your stomach before you go out and get busy for your day. And Amber says, I'm about to have some ice cream, Edward. Fair enough, Amber. Fair enough. And Bailey's in China, they are known as deep fried potato strips. So I asked the question earlier, are chips big in China? And according to Bailey, they are popular. So that's good to know. Thank you. Eddie says, Edward, as per your Discord announcement, can you pass me owner and send me to new Discord server to add to the rules and maybe to moderate? So yeah, I currently have a new Discord server. We'll make that one. So if you're just tuning in, I recently announced to the community that the Discord server that we've currently got running is going to be just for under 18s. It was a mixture of adults and under 18s in there, and from a safeguarding point of view, I just don't think it's appropriate and it's not right. So we're going to split the Discords. It's going to be one. Now we've called that, what did I call? I renamed the current Discord to, I think it was Cares Club Crew. So that's going to be the under 18s one. We're going to spin up the over 18s. So when that's in effect, we will update you. But yes, Eddie, I can transfer the ownership to you. I wanted to offer it to Robin first because she was the one that helped me set up the channel. So I'll double check whether she doesn't want to have the controls. And if not, you'd be very welcome to take the lead in there. I know you're very technically savvy, and we'll do a good job in there. So yeah, I will get in touch with you after this stream on Discord about that. Bailey says, I've only had one. Oh, Bailey says, I only have one meal a day, to be honest. Fair enough, Bailey. Fair enough. I mean, different strokes for different folks, right? But I personally, again, what do I know? I would have thought from, I don't know, like a biological point of view. I think when we think of what humans are as the kind of the animals that we are, I think we're more like grazers, or like, smaller meals, right? Smaller, more regular meals. Some people do just like to have one big meal. And again, I guess if you're thinking it in those terms, maybe it would be that humans back in the day came across food and just had as much as they could eat when they could eat it, and then until the next meal time. But like I say, different strokes for different folks. The most important thing, whatever diet you follow, is to make sure you get adequate nutrition. I don't care if you say, I skip breakfast or I skip evening meal or lunch. Facts are facts, and the science is clear. We all need a certain level of nutrition, a certain amount of calories, a certain amount of nutrients as well, micronutrients, as well as macronutrients. So don't get me wrong, I am not a nutritionist, I'm not a dietitian, I'm not quite in any way to speak with like authority about diet and eating, but I do know at the same time, from a scientific point of view, that we all need enough nutrition out there. Please do take care of yourself and get plenty to eat. Shout out to Bex as well. I saw your username in the chat a minute ago, but then got distracted by another comment. So shout out to you, Bex, and you say, I'm bad for breakfast. I feel sick in the morning. I don't want to feel sick in the morning and can't eat. Then by the time I should be hungry, my ADHD meds have stopped my appetite. Yeah, I get that, Bex. And when I used to take my ADHD meds, they would do that as well. They would limit my appetite because they're stimulant-based medication, and that's one of the side effects of that. So I totally get that. In that case, Bex, respectfully, again, your body, your life. But if you know, again, you're going to have a reduced appetite because of the medication, maybe it's extra important to try and incorporate breakfast. Because what it is, well, sometimes it's like to maintain a healthy weight, so we're not fluctuating too much. It's like if we only have one meal at the end of the day, sometimes people don't feel like eating 2,000 calories in a meal. So if you're only eating like however many calories you eat in a meal, I mean, I'm not talking to you, Bex, by the way, I'm just talking generally. I'm just saying, like, if we only have one meal at the end of the day, my personal experience, so I'm just speaking for myself, really, for nobody else. My own experience of eating one meal towards the end of the day has been sometimes for whatever reason you don't manage to get again the nutrition they need, the adequate protein, enough carbohydrate, healthy fats, plus the micronutrients. So yeah, I don't know. It's a tricky one, right? And again, I'm no expert, not at all. I'm just a guy. As I say, I'm not a trained nutritionist, dietitian. I have no qualifications or anything like that. But I think it's just something that we have to do as humans, and it can be tricky to get right. So it's a learning curve, a lifelong learning curve. And what's up to you, Kez? You say, hi, how are you? Kez, I'm doing pretty well, thank you. I'm whittering on about food. I've just had some pasta and I'm feeling quite full and happy. And shout out to you, Malia, as well. You say, OMG, hey guys, hope you are all good. I'm so happy to see my fave crew. Shout out to you, Malia. Hope you're doing super well today. WB says, I'll repost my message. If that is in the chat, WB, I will look out for it. I will look out for it. Eddie says, isn't Robin over 18, or did she say she was 15? No, Robin is under 18, well under 18. So again, even though she was like the one to set it up, that's why I because she was the one that would set it up, even though the adults are going to be leaving the current Discord, I wanted to give kind of Robin like first refusal, if that makes sense, on the Discord, because she actually created it and set it up and trained the bots and all the rest of it. I feel like I should offer it to her. Shout out to Bossman. I don't know if Bossman is watching this right now, but I just got a notification to say, Bossman, subscribe to your channel. So Bossman, if you're out there, big up to you. Uzi says, when can you have super chat? I can have super chat when I've got 3,000 hours of watch time and 500 subscribers. Now I have 500 subscribers, but I've only got about 1,000 hours, maybe just over 1,000 hours of watch time. So a third of the way there, still a long way to go. More than 2/3 of the way basically to go. However, we've got to this point, and it's a third of the way there. And if I could just keep working, you guys kind of keep following with me. That's not that you have to, but I'm just saying if I keep putting in the work to hopefully make it a cool experience for you guys, then you'll hopefully continue like rocking with me as well. And then before we know it, we'll be at halfway, and then we'll pass halfway, and then it'll be on the road to first level kind of first level of that. So that'll be super cool. So yeah, one day that will come. And Beck says, talking about breakfast and food, she says, I have a high protein fruit in a pouch to just force down when I can't eat. Well, at least you're having something, Bex, honestly. At least you're having something, because I know from experience with the ADHD medication, it can be difficult to want to eat, and you feel like you're pumped up, like you kind of, well, that's what I was anyway, like I was like amped, I'm like, you're just doing your thing, you can just get by on drinks or whatever, but I don't know, yeah. But so it's good that you've got that emergency backup food. And I love how it's like, I'm liking the imagery of that, like yogurt in a pouch. Like I'm imagining you with it like in a holster or something like that, ready to like dispense the pouch. Amber says, we always talk about food on the lives. Yeah. I mean, this is the thing, right? This is one of the reasons why like I'm so passionate about food, is because like everybody has to eat. And even if you don't eat like me, you're still eating something. So as human beings, we all need to sleep. We all need to drink water, we all need to eat food. But there's not that many things as humans we have to do to survive, but eating food is one of them. And Bossman says, happy Sunday. Now, Bossman, I don't know whether you said that comment before or after you subscribed, because I already shouted it. Oh, and you have heard me. You say, big up to you too, Ed. Thank you, Bossman. Appreciate that. Love the energy. And happy Sunday to yourself as well, sir. Honestly, I love it when someone jumps in the chat and brings positive energy. It's so nice. And if anyone was out there, is watching this for the first time, just scroll up the chat and just see the vibes, honestly. No hate comments, no trolling, just people being chill and nice and hanging out. And that's what it's about around here. And Malia says, I'm not happy with my body, but I'm only 15, so I'm starting dieting, and I hope that the person standing the most soon. Malia, what I would say, my advice to you as someone who is no longer 15, fair enough, I was never a woman, but as someone who's no longer 15, is just concentrate on being healthy as you are doing. Don't worry about your image too much. Concentrate on following a healthy diet, doing enough exercise, and the rest will take care of it. It's very easy to get caught up in feeling self-conscious and, not being happy with your appearance, whatever your gender is. But if you do live a healthy life, I promise you, the rest will take care of itself. So yeah, Malia, don't get hung up, because I know there's a lot of pressure for younger people, feeling the need to look a certain way or not feeling happy with how they look. So yeah, just concentrate on living your life, being happy, and that's a really good place to come from. And Uzi, you say, okay, bye, Edward, and guys, see you later, Uzi. Take care of yourself. We'll see you again soon. And Foxy says, cup of tea, grilled cheese sandwich, toasty. Is that what you had today, Foxy? Is that what you what you have been having. It kind of looks like the way you've written it. Genuinely looks like a song. It looks like you're saying cup of tea, the ice, cup of tea, and a grilled cheese. So I'm really confused as to whether that's like what you've had to eat or whether that's like something that you're talking about. Anyway, I'm back into Eddie says, I've got some proper old videos in here, all looking like they're recorded on a potato. Yeah, some of the old school YouTube videos, when you look back at them, when I think back to it, like early days of YouTube, when I was in some of those homemade videos, the quality is so pixelated, super pixelated, potato camera standards. Ty Barkley says, is your sign still backwards? Sure is, Ty Barkley, sure is, but we will correct some point. Today's not that day, but at some point soon we will correct that. Because I genuinely want people that are tuning in to be able to see this in the background. Because when I've watched people before, like video stuff, and they've got like the subs counter and they've drawn like a hand-drawn one, I like it. It just draws my eye to it. It's kind of want to have that same effect for people as well, because I don't know, it's good to see that glass go up for everybody. So yeah, if you are tuning in the first time, this is a glass of water on the wall. And as the subscribers go up, I will fill the glass of water in. And at the top, it's, I can't point. There we go. It's 1,000, and we're about here right now. So in due course, the glass will be full. But in the meantime, let's get back to the chat. Bailey says, when the Discord is ready, can you send me an invite link? Yes, I will do so, Bailey. Thank you. I will do so indeed. And Logan is here. What's up to you, Logan? He says, I've been in New York for the last week, and it was amazing. Oh, I'm glad you've been having a good time, Logan. As you know, New York is a cool place. I'm glad you've been having fun. And Malia says, have you got an ear piercing head? Yes, I do. I've got 2 up there, and I've got 1 on this side as well. So yes, a couple of ear piercings. It says, wait, is it not a bank holiday for you tomorrow? Not as far as I'm aware, Sterney. UK people, can you let me know? Have we got bank holiday tomorrow? That would be bliss if we do, but I'm pretty about 95% sure that we don't, because we've had a few recently. So no, I don't think it is. Cup of tea and toasty on the. So it sounds like Foxy has been having some toasted snacks, unless I'm really just not getting the wrong end of the stick. But to be fair, regardless, Foxy, shout out to cups of tea, shout out to toasties. I've not had a toasty in ages, absolutely ages. Crack this light back a little bit. God, look at that quality, studio level production. Anyone would think that I'm not filming on a desk lamp in my spare room. Right, scrolling. Jimmy Jazz says, Edward, today is a W. Why is that, Jimmy Jazz? Is that generally, or is it a particular W for you? What is the vibe? Now, Game says, sorry, our internet is not very good. Now, how is it going for you guys? What is my internet like? Because if this is not your first stream, if you've been here for more than like 2 streams, you know that my struggles with the internet it's ongoing. But hopefully it's just for games. No offense, Games, but I hope your internet is bad, not mine. June bank holiday only in Ireland. Damn. Curse the Irish with their abundance of bank holidays. Joking, obviously. Shout out to the Irish. If you're Irish right now, please, I'm sorry. And Game says it's a bit glittery. Taylor says internet normal is still shit, but we deal with it. Oh, guys, that is crushing my heart right now because I literally know. I'm turning my. Wish me luck, everybody. Because I'm going to turn my Wi-Fi. Am I still there? Is that quality any better? Is it any worse? Let me know. Genuinely do let me know. WB is just spamming. Missed comment. So WB, I will scroll up. You said hi, and before that you said I had a doctor's appointment today. It turns out I have a Dupuytren's contracture on my left hand. I can't fully close it. It seems like it would be annoying, but it's barely noticeable to me. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, WB. If you've just tuned in, one of our chat members has Dupuytren's contracture, which is where he can't fully close his hand. So we wish WB all the very best with that. Let us know how you get on, man. And Games is now saying, so a minute ago, Games, there's only 7 people, so I wonder if my internet has gone trash. Or maybe I've just gotten boring very quickly. I don't know. Foxy says I can't get in to see my GP. Foxy, that sounds like a classic tale at the moment. Classic, disappointing, but not surprising, honestly. And Kaylin says I'm so done with everything right now. What's up? What's up, Kaylin? What's making you feel down? And Kaylin says maybe people are busier. True, Kaylin, it's very true. It's just I always get nervous when I always get nervous when it suddenly drops. Like, don't get me wrong, people could be like bored, they could like be going outside, but it's just when it drops suddenly in a very short space of time that it makes me think that only 3 people watching. Bradley Washington says, "Do you know any transgender people?" Yes, I do. Yes, I do. How about you, Bradley? Do you know any transgender people? WB says, "I wish there was no school, honestly, but we need it." Well, that is the right attitude, WB. That is the right attitude because, like I've told you before, I didn't really enjoy school, but it was important for me to do, and important for anybody that goes to school. It's really important, and there's some people in other countries that would kill to have an education in a Western school. So, good attitude from you, WB. Bradley says no, and I hate them. Now listen. Nobody mods, do not time Bradley out. Nobody time Bradley out. Kaylin, do not time Bradley out. I don't mind. Bailey, just for a second, don't time that person out. Now, Bradley, if you're still watching, why do you hate transgender people? Genuinely, I want to give you an opportunity, Bradley, to answer the question. We could just time you out for being hateful, but instead, Bradley, I want you to answer the question: why do you hate transgender people? You could just be trolling us, but as I'm not trans and it's not like an LGBT stream, I don't know why you'd be trolling me about it. But yeah, genuinely, if you're still there, Bradley, let us know why you dislike trans people. We obviously don't agree with that, but I'm curious to know why you don't like them. Owen Akrill, with no other context, just says Hull City. Everton FC. Bradley says they fake their gender identity. Okay, let's. I don't agree with that, Bradley. But even if you were right, why would you hate somebody for doing something that doesn't affect you? Like, you could not agree. If I don't think trans people are faking it, just to be clear. But if that was your attitude and your outlook, why, of all the people you could hate, why would you hate them? Why would you not hate like murderers or people that hurt children? Like, why would you choose to hate trans people? And as Bailey says, Bradley, I don't fake my gender. Yeah, and this is the thing, right? We don't get political around here, and it's a very sensitive subject. But what I would say is, like, life is short, and try and put your energy into being like positive about something rather than hating things. That's what I've learned. Honestly, if I could share the point, that's something I've learned in life. Like, life is short, and if you spend your time hating things, that hate will make you a bitter person, and it will make you less happy. So the thing that you hate is beating you because they're making you unhappy. So Bradley. So Bradley's got some problems himself. He says, they affect me, trans people, they affect me every single day. That's just not factual, that's just obviously not true. And they say they make Pride Month a bad thing where it already is. They make Pride Month a bad thing where it already is. That doesn't make sense, Bradley. I'm not trying to be unkind to you, but it doesn't make sense. They make Pride Month a bad thing. I mean, you make it sound like Pride Month had a meaning already that wasn't about like queer people. I mean, some people do argue that transgender people are separate from LGBTQ people or LGB people because it's not a sexuality, it's a gender thing. But how do they make pride, even disregarding, that's not my argument, I'm just saying some people think that, but like, even with that being said, like, how will that make pride bad? Because isn't pride about just being proud of who you are and the fact it doesn't hurt anybody and just living your life? I'm not part of the community, but that's my impression of pride. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm going to be straight up with you guys. I think some of the prides out there can actually be a bit too explicit, too not provocative in terms of being out and proud, but like sexually provocative. Now, I don't want to say more than that because we've got young people watching, but I'm just saying, I agree that some of these events can be too explicit. But in terms of pride being a bad thing, like, pride it's just been about like proud of who you are. You know what I'm saying? Like proud of being LGBTQ plus. Anyway, that was a wormhole and not a positive one. So let's get back on track, guys. Let's bring some positive vibes in here. Shout out to all of the LGBTQ plus people out here. I know you're watching right now. Shout out to Bailey, shout out to Sturdy, and anybody else who's part of the community. You are welcome and respected and appreciated around here. And hi to a catchy electro music. You say, hi, hope you are doing well. Oh, but then you followed it up with something a bit more contentious, which I won't dive into. Now, this is guys, why we don't talk about politics and religion on the channel, is because I want these streams to be super open, super welcoming to absolutely everybody, and I don't want there to be barriers. Like, some people watching the streams might not be cool with people being gay. I am cool with people being gay, but some people watching streams might not be cool with people being gay or being a certain religion or whatever. Whereas I just say, leave that at the door, and then when we stream together, it's all good vibes, positive energy, meeting one another, meeting new people, and all the rest of it. And Bex is also part of the community, with the LGBTQ plus community, so shout out to Bex. Yeah, and Bradley's gone. Bradley is gone, and rightfully so, because the reason I asked the question, guys, is because, as you know, I don't tolerate hate or anything like that. But sometimes people are ignorant. That's where hate and bigotry comes from. It usually comes from ignorance. So I think sometimes, rather than just shut people down and like banish them and bin them off immediately, if you can ask them like, why is it you think like that? And if you can educate someone, then you can potentially turn someone who's prejudiced into if not an ally, then just neutral. And that's a positive thing. I think we should, in life, in society, not just with like queer rights and stuff, in general, with different points of view, I think it's really important to challenge people on what their views are, and in doing so, that confirm what you believe, and it can also make you reappraise what you believe. And even if you still think the exact same as before, it still makes you kind of reconsider your position. So that's why I think debate and conversation is really important. And unfortunately, over the last sort of 10 or so years, things have changed now. People are not afraid to as afraid to have difficult conversations now, but certainly in the UK and certainly in Europe and America and places like that, debate around difficult topics was not encouraged, which I think was a real mistake, and actually has led to people being prejudiced in a quiet sort of way. And as I say, when you can challenge someone publicly about what they think, it makes them have to justify their position, and the world can see often that their position is not founded in anything logical. So as always, once more, shout out to everybody out there who's part of a different community, LGBTQ plus community, wherever it might be. Everybody's welcome around here. Kaylin says, if Bradley didn't leave, I would have committed a first-degree murder. Well, Kaylin, we don't want you doing 30 years to life for first-degree murder, so please let there be no murders. Interesting. And Kaylin says, I don't like ice cream, which sternly follows up by saying, I hate ice cream. Interesting. And actually, I just read the comment. So Amber went, I finished my ice cream. And then Kaylin said, I don't like ice cream. And then Sterney said, I hate ice cream. Oh, boy. Sterney says, I'm okay. I'm just thinking of what my dad said today, that he was mocking and like saying, why do we get Pride Month? But people don't just understand what we've been through just for loving the same people. I think that's meant to say loving the same people. Like I say, I think it's just ignorance. A lot of hatred across different areas comes from ignorance. Now, don't get me wrong, there's some people that are genuinely hateful. They are genuinely hateful, bad people. But that's one of the things I've learned in life is actually there's a lot more misinformed people than there are genuinely bad people in the world. Honestly, no matter how bad people seem and how hateful they can be, a lot of the time it's just ignorance, and that manifests as bitterness, being hateful. This has been a very thought-provoking but also heavy stream, so we never shy away from difficult subjects here, but hopefully you guys aren't being too brought down by the vibes right now. As always, we're supporting all the different people out there, and if you are watching the stream, big up to you. And Juju popping up in the chat, how are you doing today, Juju? Good to see you. And Raw, continuing the ice cream talk, says, I can't live without ice cream. So we've got a mixed opinion on ice cream. If you're watching right now, what are you thinking? We've got some people that are saying they love it. Some people are saying they're not into it at all. Catchy Electro Music says there is hate and there is legit criticism or facts. Absolutely, and that's why I think that it's important to have those difficult conversations. Debate, discussion, and I think like I say, in not having those difficult conversations, difficult discussions, it pushes bad views underground. That's what happens. It pushes bad views underground, and it allows them to fester, and it never helps to re-educate people. And I must say, there's been a very bad trend, which is changing now, of let's say someone's ignorant, they're bigoted, they're racist, or something like that. Society over the last 10 or so years, maybe more, has been too keen to say, get in the bin, you're a bad person, never come back, instead of saying, what you believe is wrong, this is why it's wrong, why do you think what you think? And you might say, well, the bad people, they're being bad, so they deserve it. But that's not the point. It's like, do you want bad people to just exist? Or do you want to help turn bad people into better kind of people? Because if you don't want to turn people with bad views, unkind views, prejudiced views into better people, then you're literally not much better than the bad people. Seriously, because it's like, and as I say, I don't want to get too heavy into all this stuff because normally it's just like pure light-hearted vibes, but I think it's important while on the topic. It's really important to have difficult conversations, whatever that might be in life. Okay, and back to the chat. WB says, fun but terrifying fact. Someone was in a nightmare during a 3-year coma, and when he finally woke up, he made a perfect happy life. But when he was eating food, he noticed the world glitching. Then he was sent into the nightmare again. That is horrifying. That is not so much a fun fact, more like a horrifying fact. Jack Bradley says, are you going to watch the World Cup? Yes, not in person, Jack, but I will do. And Masak, oh no, fumble. Masak says, hi Edward, what makes you to be a vegan? If that Masak question means like, why did I go vegan? It was the same reason I went vegetarian. I just didn't agree with animals getting hurt if they didn't need to be hurt. I thought it was morally wrong. And it just didn't sit well with me. It was as simple as that. It just did not sit well with me, and I didn't think it was the right thing for me to do, so I stopped eating meat. And after a few years, I realised that I didn't agree with animals. Well, the reason I stopped eating meat is because I didn't want animals to get hurt, but by continuing to eat dairy and eggs, animals still get hurt. So I thought, you know what, screw this, let me go fully vegan. And I've now been vegan, as you guys know, over 10 years, and I've been absolutely loving it. So that's why I went vegan, Masak. And last point on this before I move on is that the reason why I stayed vegan is because it's benefited me in every other way. If I just went vegan for the animals but was struggling with my health, or I didn't enjoy food as much, or it was worse for the planet, any of those things, maybe I might have fallen off the wagon. Probably not, but maybe I would have. But the fact is, following a plant-based lifestyle has worked so well for me because as well as the reasons I went vegan in the first place, the benefits, as I say, in terms of my health, how much money I spend, the relationship I have with food, all of those things have got better. So it's like, I can't even imagine going back to a different lifestyle. Catchy Electro Music says, I agree, but some people care more about their agenda more than truth or facts. That is absolutely true. And that's, again, why it's important to have debate and discussion, because the truth will emerge. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm so keen on having deep conversations and having honest, uncomfortable sometimes conversations, because if you do care about the truth of the matter, then you can't just say, oh, I believe this and it's true. It's like you have to justify why it's true. Jack Bradley says, where are you from? I'm from the north of England, Jack. Not too far away from Manchester. How about yourself? Where are you from in the world, Jack? And Bailey says, guys, hugs everyone. Hugs to you too, Bailey, and hugs to everyone in the chat. Catchy Electro Music says, you look healthy. Well, if you're talking to me, thank you. I do try and look after myself. Don't get me wrong, I don't get it right all the time by any means, and nobody's perfect. But I get a real kick out of trying to stay healthy, you know. Stuff that when I was younger didn't interest me, like drinking lots of water to stay hydrated and to make sure my body's well hydrated, or eating vegetables. Like, genuinely, when I was younger, I ate my vegetables because my mum told me to, and I was like, yeah, peas are nice, but I wasn't excited by them. Whereas genuinely now, I'm legitimately excited by fruit, excited by vegetables, because not only is it tasty and all the rest of it, it's just, which is the major part of it, don't get me wrong, but it's also, I just know it's doing me some good, and there's something empowering about that. Especially when you felt bad, especially when you've spent time in life feeling down. You spent time feeling bad about yourself or the world, or you know what I mean, feeling uncomfortable in your own skin, stuff like that. Healthy eating is one of those things where you're in control and you are objectively doing good for yourself, and you just know it's doing good, and you look better. You know what I'm saying? You look better. Like, you must have seen yourself people that are like 50 or 60 years old and they've mistreated themselves, and you can see it. It's not just genetics. You can see they've mistreated themselves, and that's not in any way like a dig at anybody who's lived a certain way. I'm not criticizing anybody or saying, oh, look at me. I just mean that I don't want to get to 60 years old, if I get to that age, and do you know what I'm saying, just be unhealthy or be a shell of myself. I want to be, fair enough, I look older, but I want to be like a good version of myself. Do you know what I mean? Someone who's like healthy, in shape, can still do things, active, and all the rest of it. So that's why I'm so passionate about sharing a message of healthy eating with you guys. Juju says, as a Greenlandic / Dane, my thoughts is split. There are cultural differences between Greenlandic and Dane. I guess we're more prone to forgive as a people. Interesting. Thank you for the cultural insight. I say I've very little to no frame of reference about either Greenlandic or Danish people, honestly. Greenlandic even less. Catchy Electro Music says, who will win the World Cup? Who do you guys think will win the World Cup? Because the honest answer is I don't know. I do not know. Foxy says, I don't eat beef and I try not to eat chicken / pork, but the devil on my shoulder keeps tripping me up. Fair play, Foxy. And I get it, right? I understand, because like when you enjoy eating meat, as I used to, those are very tasty, savoury flavours to you at the time. And you're used to it. You're used to it. It's what you've used to. It's what you've had all your life, and you've associated with those like tasty moments, satisfying, filling, whatever it might be, all the rest of it. But it's just one of those things. It's kind of like anything. It's like, let's say you're a smoker and you genuinely enjoy cigarettes, or you enjoy drinking alcohol. You might genuinely enjoy it. You might get a real pleasure from it in the moment. But it's only when you stop doing something and a bit of time passes and you realise, like, you're living your life, you're living your life and you're doing other stuff, and you're like, actually, it doesn't appeal. Do you know what I'm saying? So keep trying, Mr. Fox. And as I say, I promise you it'll be worth it in the long run. Amber says, Edward, what time are you going to bed at? Now, is that tonight or in general? I'll probably have to check out in about 20 minutes from you guys, something like that, because I do have work tomorrow in the morning, unfortunately. But as to what time I'll go to bed, probably about 10:30, something like that. But I need a little bit of time before the end of after I finish streaming to wind down, because I'm always pumped after these streams. And Jack Bradley is in Ireland. Shout out to you, Jack. We've got a few people in Ireland right now watching the stream. Oh, and we've got a good food-related fact from Stern. He says, fun fact, did you know potatoes didn't actually originate in Ireland? They actually originated in Peru in the 16th century, and they brought it over to Ireland. To be fair, I did think I knew that potatoes originated in South America. I couldn't have remembered specifically that it was Peru, but I feel like the Aztecs were doing it, right? Pretty sure the Aztecs were growing potatoes and stuff like that, because I feel like I looked at one once before. But I didn't know they came to Ireland in the... Well, you didn't say when they came over to Ireland, but yeah, I didn't know they got brought over. Volix, I don't know what the first comment was from Volix, so don't know. But the Volix said something about a box at 3 a.m, so I don't know what that is. And what's up, Huntsman? Good to see you in the chat. How are you doing? And thank you for the update as well. You say 3 more subs till 600. Hell yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. Slowly but surely we're getting to 600, and then one day, hopefully, we'll make it to 1,000. Sturdy thinks Brazil will win at the World Cup. Interesting. And Juju says, we ate a lot of vegan food when our kids went vegan. It tasted good, but when they moved out, we came back to our old habits. You've hit the nail on the head, Juju. It's like old habits die hard, right? And it's one of those things. It's like if you fall, it's kind of like one of those things where you can incorporate more vegan food into your diet, which is awesome. Eat more plant food, like not just like vegan junk food, like specifically more whole food more whole foods. But it's only when you kind of fully commit to something that like it kind of makes you maintain to a certain
way of like living. For example, if I didn't have the animals to think of, and it was just someone was saying to me like, "Oh, well, plant-based diet is the best," then maybe I might. I mean, it doesn't appeal to me at all. Like eating those foods just doesn't appeal to me at all anymore, regardless of the ethics. But maybe my mindset would be different, as I say, if I didn't have that kind of other consideration. So, Juju, what I'd say is to you is eat as much plant food as you can. Maybe consider replacing or having some nights where instead of meat you have like a plant-based option. Make sure you eat enough protein, and I honestly think you will not feel like you're missing out. You really won't. You really, really won't, because there's so many delicious things out there that you can make out of plants. But thanks for the insight. Foxy says they make vodka from fermented potatoes. Now, I didn't know that was the standard thing for vodka, but I have heard that about potato vodka before. Priyanshu says, "Wow, bro, you're not lagging today. Bye." Is that you saying goodbye because I'm not lagging, Priyanshu, and you wanted me to lag, or are you just saying bye generally? But in any case, hello and potentially goodbye to Priyanshu. I hope you're doing well. And Music and Joy being a real one says, "The GOAT is live. Hello, Edward. Sorry for not being here a while. Had so many tests and stress, and I have my first math test tomorrow. So can you guys wish me good luck?" 100%. Music and Joy. As always, big shout out to you. Thank you for joining the chat with the positive energy. And all the best for your test tomorrow. I'm wishing you well. And listen, you can only do what you can do. Give it your best shot, but try not to stress too much. Just read the questions carefully, think about your answers, and what will be, will be. So, Music and Joy, we're wishing you well. And thank you, Huntsman, who says a good choice for vegans in terms of bread is seeded whole bread or whole bread. Both are good. Thank you, Huntsman, for the bread suggestion. And you say protein and fibre is packed in them. Love that, Huntsman. Thank you for the share. Appreciate that. And take care, Kaylin. Thanks to everybody showing a bit of support to Music and Joy. It is appreciated. Sterney says, "Missed my fun fact about when potatoes came to Ireland." I think I read that one out, Sterney. Was that the fact that they were originated in Peru and they brought over to Ireland? Let me scroll up quickly to see if there's another one that you shared. But if not, I think I've seen the one that you shared. Yeah, I've caught up with that one. Foxy says, "Sourdough bread actually fills you up." Yes, Foxy. Firstly, what's up to Raw? You say, "What's up, Mother Flower?" Or is that Mother Flower or Mother Flower? But in any case, what's up to you as well, Raw? Hope you're doing well. And Foxy, you say sourdough bread actually fills you up. Foxy, 100%. Sourdough bread is legit. And to be honest with you, I do eat other bread sometimes. Like in that What I Eat in a Day video I made recently, I was eating bread. My parents made me those sandwiches, so it's not my bread of choice. And I just ate it because it's not going to kill you now and then. But honestly, in terms of bread, guys, I cannot recommend sourdough enough. I bought a loaf of bread the other day. Literally, when I say the other day, it was yesterday. Now, I don't buy it all the time. Sometimes I don't buy it for weeks at a time because it's expensive. It's £4.30 for a loaf of bread, which I know some of you will think, "That's outrageous. I pay £1.50 for my bread, £2 for my bread. I can't afford £4.30. I get it. It's a lot of money for bread. But here's what I would say to you. Personally, for me, now, even though I love bread generally, I would rather have bread once every week, once every 2 weeks, and it'd be really, or twice every 2 weeks, and it'd be really good, than just some like crummy bread that's got like additives in and preservatives in. Like most breads out there now, if you go and get like Kingsmill or Warburton's or Hovis, any of those breads, you think, "Oh yeah, they're all right." Look at the back of them; they've got stuff in there which just should not be in bread. And humans have been eating bread for literally thousands of years, and the basics of bread are like some type of flour and water, and that's basically it. Some breads don't even have yeast in. Basically, flour, salt, and water. That's the essence of most breads throughout human history. You know what I mean? Give or take. But if you look at the back of your average bread now and you think, "Oh, Hovis, that's like a family-friendly bread," you look at the back of that, and it's just, even the basic one has just got stuff in there which just shouldn't be in there, like sugar, like added sugar or syrups, or do you know what I'm on about? Just, or even E numbers. It's crazy. Like when you look at modern bread. So Foxy, I'm glad that you mentioned sourdough because it is good, and it's the thing about sourdough, right, guys? You have one piece, and each mouthful is quite like substantial. It's chewy. It's got texture to it. It's like the gluten, which is like kind of probably had a chance to form. Don't quote me on that. I'm not actually a bread maker. But compare it to your supermarket bread. We have to eat 3 pieces to feel full because again, it's like flimsy.
It's not substantial. So that was a long ramble, semi-angry ramble about sourdough bread. But yeah, thank you for mentioning it, Foxy. Froze says the time is going by way too fast. Yeah, the older you get, the faster time goes. So enjoy it while it lasts. Scrolling and scrolling. Fox, Sterney, put your comment in the chat again if you would. I tried to find. You said no for when they came to Ireland. No, couldn't see that one, Sterney. So if you could copy and paste it, that'd be absolutely brilliant. Foxy says, aren't potatoes grown all over the world? Maybe actually at this point, Foxy. Yeah, maybe not as obviously not as heavily cultivated in some places. Like I don't really think of being the Middle East is a big potato spot. I know they do have it. What is it? Batata hara, I think is like a Middle Eastern potato dish. I know potatoes do exist in the Middle East, but some places more than others, I think. GT Gaming says, this channel is awesome. Give them some support. It means a lot to them. Thank you, GT Gaming, for the positive comment and for the support from you. I appreciate that. And good to see you jump into the chat. Big up to yourself. Foxy says sourdough equals dynamite. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And yeah, Foxy again talking about commercial bread says full of sugar, mate. 7 teaspoons in one slice. Sugar is an enemy of your body. Well, certainly like artificial, like refined sugar is not good for your body. I think humans are absolutely okay. Again, not a nutritionist, but to have like fruit sugars, absolutely fine to have plenty of that. But yeah, I agree with you. The refined sugar, which just like spikes your blood sugar, not good for you. And like I say, guys, when you've got and this all comes down to companies trying to make profit off you. So when you've got like bread, when you go to the shop and you buy like Hovis, Warburton's, Kingsmill, any of these breads, and you look at the back of them, and they've got loads of different stuff in with preservatives, maybe thickeners, numbers. That none of that is done for your taste benefit. None of that is done to provide you a better nutritional experience. It's done so the companies can make a profit, extend their product lines, have different ways of keeping the bread last for longer, keep its shape, keep its colour. Because, fresh food, like good fresh food, it has an expiry date to it. And when they put things in food, it's not done for, like I said, it's not done for nutritional purposes or not done for your taste benefit. It's just done so they can make more money out of you in a way, which is sad, but it's just how it is. And that's why I think people should, as much as possible, make their own food. But certainly in the West, like a lot of people have strong emotional attachments to brands. Because you grow up eating that stuff, right? You grow up eating certain brands, so it has an association of your childhood, and that's a hard disconnect. Like it's a hard connection to break, like psychologically and emotionally, because there's a part of your brain which associates those brands with happy times, good times. I'll give you an example. Cadbury's. Now, obviously, I don't eat milk chocolate, as you know, but Cadbury's is one of those companies where they have consistently lowered the cocoa content worse than the quality of the product over time. But for many people that grew up eating Cadbury's dairy milk, it was like a childhood thing for them. So they've still got that emotional attachment to the brand, even though over time what they're getting for their money has just been worsened. So anyway, that's a ramble about food and companies. But shout out to you, Mayor. How are you doing? And what's up to you, Rob? Rob of Depression Talk. Good to see you, Rob. How are you doing, sir? Hope all is well with you. We're just ranting about... I'm ranting about food at the moment and how some companies most bread companies add a lot of preservatives and rubbish into bread that doesn't need to be there. And Mayor says, hello from Scotland. Hello to you, Mayor. I'm down in England, which is weird to think because I'm in the north of England, so most people in the country are like down south from me, but every time someone's from Scotland, I'm just automatically a southerner to them. That's how I see it anyway. Amber says, I might have some Mexican-styled rice or noodles and some spicy crisps. Ooh, that sounds good. And I'm actually, even though, as I say, I've been trying to eat healthy, I do like crisps. That's kind of a weakness of mine. I try not to have them in the house too much, otherwise I will eat them. Sterney says, guys, I might have torn a muscle in my hand. Sorry to hear that, Sterney. Do get it checked out, as somebody's suggesting. Huntsman, in fact, is suggesting that. Foxy says diabetes is rampant, mate, in the UK. Now, listen, guys, I will tell you a quick story. It's a bit of a gruesome one. Not that gruesome, but it's semi-gruesome, but I'll tell you now because I think it's important to hear. And you're absolutely right, Fox, about diabetes. So about 7 or 8 years ago, guys, I was at a wedding, and I was sat next to someone, and I got talking to them, and it was like my then girlfriend's friend's boyfriend or whatever. And long story short, he was a prosthetic specialist, so somebody who deals with like prosthetic limbs, prosthetic joints, things like that. And I just making chit chat, said to him, I'm like, oh, what's it been like in the industry? Like, has anything changed over the last few years, or like, what's the crack at the moment? Because I'm always interested. Whenever I meet someone who's got a different area of expertise to myself, which is essentially everybody, because my expertise is somewhat limited. But basically, whenever I meet anybody, I'm always curious to know. Like, let's say I meet a policeman, or I don't know, a chef, whatever it might be. I'm always curious to know like what people's tastes like. Has anything changed in the industry? So I said to him, has anything changed over the last few years? And he said to me, yeah, I've seen a lot more referrals to myself. Again, replacement limbs, replacement joints, this type of thing. And I said, oh, what's driving that? And he said, diabetes, type 2 diabetes. And that's not because genetically people are suddenly randomly triggered. It's that people are eating bad stuff, developing diabetes, and one of the side effects of diabetes can be the loss of limbs, which is crazy. Absolutely mind-blowing when you think about it, because I've always said this to like friends and my family and stuff. If there was drugs that people were taking that were making them lose limbs, like drugs can do, and that was happening as a widespread sort of thing across the country, we would be like, wow, that is so hardcore, that is crazy. But because it's food and we all eat food every day, people kind of just like don't really think about this sort of stuff. But this is one of the reasons why I'm so passionate about healthy eating, is because like how you treat your body can literally determine your health, and like you not having your flipping legs, or you ending up in a wheelchair, or going blind, or being 45 years old and not being able to walk because you've done it to yourself. And that's not a condemnation of people that do that, but I'm just saying it's like a lot of it's preventable, So I don't know, it's just really important to talk about. Anyway, Rob says, busy, 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 buddy. Is that good busy, Rob? Hopefully it's good busy. You sound upbeat. And I'm going to catch up because I've been rambling for a lot of time. And Beck says, yeah, my nan had type 1 diabetes and lost her foot. It got gangrene, I think. Damn, that is hardcore. That is hardcore for sure. And I never knew that. I honestly had no idea that. I mean, I didn't. Still, even now, don't know very much about diabetes really. But at the same time, growing up, I had no sense that you could. Nobody, like as a kid, told me if you eat too much food, you can give yourself serious illnesses which may make you lose your limbs or die early. Like, it was taught to us at school like being overweight was bad, like, or that you needed to eat a healthy diet, maintain a healthy body weight, but it was never spelled out why. And I think in the UK, certainly, we've got a really big problem with obesity. We do, especially compared to other countries, honestly, guys. So when I go to different countries, I go to Spain, or I go to Thailand, or other countries around the world, or Italy, wherever, like, of course, people in different countries struggle with obesity, but we've got it really bad. Like, we're one of the worst in Europe, and there's whole reasons for that. But yeah, I guess what I'm trying to say is like it doesn't need to be that way. British Defence League, what's up to you, British Defence League? And Rob has been keeping busy, so he's not overthinking. Well, that's a good strategy, Rob. Keeping busy is the way to go. Not that I always do that, but it is good. Interesting. Foxy talking about the healthcare system says it's all good for the NHS though, Edward, because it's cycling patients through the system. We live in a society where they want you ill. Well, that 100% is the case for America. I have no doubt about that. That seems very obvious to me. And it's sick. It's totally sick. And it is scary to think that we live in a system where, as you said, they might actually want people to be unwell because it's in their interest for you to be unwell and making use of their services. So that's kind of a frightening thought, to think that that could be the case and that could be a reality. So, chilling. Food for thought. Foxy says, I'm borderline type 2, mate, and it's off just eating run-of-the-mill food. Interesting, Foxy. Borderline, so you're pre-diabetic from I guess you've been told that you're pre-diabetic. And, right, interesting. Well, hopefully, Foxy, you can kind of keep up the good fight with that and stay on a health journey. It's Aggie says, hey, what's up to you? It's Aggie. Nice to see you in the chat. And Sturny is back. Cupcake Candles Leaf 2025 says, hi. Hello to you, Cupcakes Candles Leaf. How are you doing? And it's Aggie says, I haven't seen your streams in so long. It's Aggie, we haven't seen you in the chat in so long, so it's good to have you back with us. And I'm glad that it's the stream has found its way to your feed. Nice. And Rob's workshop is looking awesome, apparently. Coming along a treat. Yeah, I must say, whenever I've checked into your streams recently, you've been getting busy in the workshop. So yeah, I'm curious to see what you've been tinkering on in there. I know you were last time I asked you were like moving a bit of this here, getting rid of a bit of this, that there. But I hope whatever it is, man, it's giving you some satisfaction and you're gaining pleasure from it. I know that the viewers like seeing what you're doing as well and sort of watching along with you and chilling whilst you're doing your bits. British Defence League says, Edward, hope you're good, lad. How's things been? British Defence League, thank you for asking. I've been all right, thank you. I've been all right. It's been a nice weekend. I had to work yesterday morning, which was a drag because I'd already worked Monday to Friday. So personally, I hate working. Not hate working. I think it's good to work, but like I hate I like to do 5 days. I'd rather do more hours across 5 days than not have a full 2 days off. That's just me personally. But apart from that, British Defence League, I have been doing good, thank you. I've had a nice day today. It's been chilling. I got a workout in, first proper workout I've done for a couple of weeks. And it felt good. And I've had some nice food as well. So yeah, you know what? I cannot complain. Cannot complain at all. And how about yourself? How are you doing? Oh, refreshment. Wow, and Foxy's doctor has told him to cut out the carbs. Interesting. Could be cauliflower rice for you, Foxy. But he said, yeah, mate, doc said, sort yourself out, cut out the carbs, because potatoes have sugar in as well, and pasta too. Low carb for Foxy. Damn, that is a rough one. That is a rough one. Keep us posted. Well, you don't have to. It's your health situation. But yeah, if you feel like keeping us posted, mate, we'll obviously wish you the best on that one. And Raw says, can you spell my great-grandma's name? Ren. Are you asking me to say R-E-N? I don't know, I'm confused. But I wish you and your great-grandma the very best, Raw. Cupcakes Candles Leaf says, you meant we don't want to be unwell. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Do you believe in God? I do not believe in God. And honestly, there's only two things we don't talk about on the channel, which is religion and politics. And like I've said before, the only reason for that is because whilst it's very important to some people, they can be very divisive subjects. And as Foxy says, near politics, near religion. That's Mr. Fox's usual follow-up on that one. So yeah, we just try and keep it nice and neutral, regardless of sort of what your background is, what you believe in. You're welcome here. We can just vibe along together. But the short answer is no. I don't believe in God. I believe in some sort of. There has to be something out there. Whether that's just other life in the universe. Statistically, I just think it's unlikely that we're the only like sentient life on one planet. Out of all the millions of planets there must be out there, I think it is literally in the millions, maybe even in the billions. I know it's certainly in the millions, but yeah, I don't know. It seems very implausible to me that there'd be no other form of intelligent life out in the universe. But as to God, I don't believe in a God necessarily in like the conventional sense that religions would see it or kind of frame it as. Boom, and British Defence League says, nice, mate. I'm off 2 weeks holiday, been working like mad and can't complain. Very nice, British Defence League. Nothing is sweeter than a holiday when you've had a busy period before it, especially when you've got like not 2 days off, you've got like a little bit of a block. So very pleased to hear that for you, British Defence League, who I will call BDL from now on. So BDL, do you have any plans for your time off? Are you just chilling or a bit of life admin? What's the plan? Sturny says, guys, I'm actually going to cry. I got the worst news ever. I'm actually going to cry. What's up, Sturny? What's troubling you? Cupcake Candles Leaf says, God is real, just believe in God. Now listen, Cupcake. Sounds really patronising when I said that. Just listen here, Cupcake. But for real, Cupcake, you're entitled to your opinion, but I won't be replying to any comments about God or religion in the chat. And I'd kindly ask that you don't post too many comments. You are totally within your rights to believe it, that God is real. But yeah, we don't talk about it around here. So hopefully you can respect that. Fox says, Big G runs a simulation, Edward. And Rob is kind of a similar mindset to myself. Believes there's a higher power of some sort, but not framed as the way we are.
Now I know I wasn't going to talk about God, but that's more me responding to Rob's comment. Sturdy says one of my idols died. Tommy Rincentile was one of the few survivors who survived the Holocaust in World War II. That is sad. Very sad. Rest in peace, Tommy. He must have been very old. BDL says fishing and camping next week, but this week I'm chilling in the house. What about yourself, mate? No political or religious talking, please. Yeah, thank you, BDL. Cool. This week you're chilling in the house. Yeah, listen, right, if you've had a busy time at work, sometimes you don't want to be like, personally I don't anyway, I don't want to be rushed around doing loads of crazy stuff. I need a little bit of downtime just to relax and recuperate. So I'm glad that you're doing that as well. And this week coming, I am at work. So I'm at work again, Monday to Friday. So yeah, that's what my week is looking like. So yeah, that's going to be the crack with that one. Work Monday to Friday, 20 to 9 until roughly 5 each day. So yeah, well, like I've guys told you before, for me this job is somewhat time limited. I want to quit towards the end of the year and go travelling. I'm going to go on my travels, and I'm going to take you guys with me. I'm going to try and do some streaming whilst I'm away, and I'm also going to make some videos as well. Foxy says Monday blues tomorrow night. Then, haha. Yeah, Mr. Fox, that's right. That is right. I'm going to have to try and find a way to keep myself occupied. If I've got the energy, I'll do another workout tomorrow. Usually, Monday is not a day that I work out on because it's more like it's the first day of being up early after the weekend. I feel like Monday hits me a bit harder. Once Tuesday hits, like I'm in my groove. Well, I'm still not loving life, but like I'm more in the groove with it. But Monday is usually. It's not like it's killer, but it's just, I don't know. So what I'm saying is I'll see how I get on with the exercise. And if I can, I'll do some exercise. And if not, I'll go out for a walk or something like that. And I am soon, I've not done it today, but I very, very soon want to do that noodles video. So I might even do that, tomorrow. In terms of when I stream this week, I'm probably going to cut it down to 3 days a week, guys. So I'll probably do today, and I might have tomorrow off, and I might do Tuesday and Thursday. So like today on, tomorrow off, then Tuesday on, then Wednesday off, then Thursday on, and then back on Sunday. Now that's quite a big drop going from 5 to 3, but honestly, I've been finding it a little bit tough recently just to maintain 5 streams a week on top of my 5 days at work. Obviously 5.5 this week, and then try and make shorts and stuff like that. And I really love the shorts. As much as doing streams is like my favourite thing. It's a different kind of thing making the shorts, and yeah, I just like that as well in a different way. So I want to have some time to do that. Fox says we can't be blue, mate. Near blues for Monday. I want a speedball. Looking at one. Oh, as in like is that for boxing, right, Foxy? Like one of those ones where it's like, do you know what I'm on about? Is it one of those? Foxy, is that what you're talking about? Foxy says, what is your best short? I think in terms of, to be honest, my shorts have never done like that well. I've never had a short even hit 100 likes. And that's honestly kind of like a target of mine. That's one of the reasons why I want more time to do shorts, because I'm a bit frustrated that my shorts do okay, but that's partly because of you guys, the regular crew that like watch them and support them, which I'm very grateful for. But I also need like randoms to be discovering the shorts and also legitimately enjoying them. So yeah, kind of one of my challenges for a short is to, I'd say, hit 100 likes. Once I hit that first, if I can, knock on wood, when I'm able to finally hit 100 likes on a short, it'll be really satisfying. Just like when I hit 1,000 subs, hopefully one day, that'll be really satisfying. But in answer to which is my best short, in terms of like views, the one of the snake fruit, which got like 12,000 views. But watching it on this channel, 12,000 views. On another channel, I had like a couple that did like, I think, 15,000. But the likes were trash on the one I got 12,000 on this channel. And for me personally, like I said before, I'd rather have 1,000 views and 100 likes than 10,000 views and 50 likes. That's not just because I'm like an egotist and greedy for likes. It's more just like the likes tell me how much people have enjoyed the content. If there's 10 people, if 10 people watch a video and 8 of them like it, it's a really good video because like all of the 10 people that saw it enjoyed it. Whereas if you've got a video that thousands of people have seen but not many have liked it, that's your answer as to how successful it was. So I don't know. To answer your question, Foxy, It depends what you're into, but I think the Christmas one I did for me fairly well. That had like 50 something or maybe 60 likes on that one. Like what I eat in a day on Christmas. Um, so yeah, but I think I'm enjoying doing what I eat in a day, what I eat in a day videos as well. So more of those to come as well. Credential Commentary says, "Hello, fella. Hello, Credential Commentary. How are you doing? Nice to see you in the chat." And I'm the best always says, "Bro, I just saw you and you exactly look like my dad's best friend. Not in a bad way. Not in a bad way, obviously. Well, hello to you. I'm the best always. Good to see you in the chat, and hopefully your dad's not too old because I'm not that old. But yeah, hopefully your dad's a young fella." Foxy says, "Speedball is that little ball thing you whack against the board. Looks good for wrist and forearm. Is that the boxing thing though, Foxy? Where boxers do it for speed and agility, or is that something different? Am I just tripping out? And that's something different." Have I missed anybody? No, I think I'm pretty much up to date with the chat, which is cool. And Amber is back in the chat. How are you doing, Amber? And Sterney's back as well. Hello to you, Sterney, also. And hello to anybody who's watching the stream right now. And Foxy says, "Aye, the boxing thingy." Yes, Foxy, that'll be good. That'll be good for dexterity for sure, and hand-eye coordination and all the rest of it. So yeah, cool, man. If you get one, let me know. I'm always interested in like new little fitnessy type of stuff. As long as it's not like like gimmicky gadgets. If it's like a legitimate, tried and tested thing, like I don't know, like a pull-up bar or speedball, then hell yeah. And I'm the best always says my dad is 36, so yeah, cool. I'm a little bit younger than your dad, but I am in my 30s, so I'll take that. I'm the best always. And your dad is young. Your dad is young. Sterney says, "I'm so sad. I'm sorry to hear that you're sad, Sterney." Oh, 1% battery. If it helps you feeling better, which it probably won't, I'm sure if he was a Holocaust survivor, then by this point, I'm sure he had a very long life and he was able to live a free life and a life that was better than the one he had. So that is something. Amber says, "When are you ending, Edward?" I'm actually going to end it very soon, guys, because it's been almost 90 minutes and it's 9:30. This is what happens. The time absolutely flies when we hang out together. But whenever I stream too late, it keeps me up late at night and then I feel tired in the morning, and I definitely don't want to be doing that because it's Monday in the morrow. Fox says, "You'll need to practice your DIY skills to fix the speedball to the wall. Weak state secret." True, Mr. Fox. This is why I need to brush up on my skills for real. And as you heard the other day, one of my friends, she was like, "Yeah, if a guy's got skills like that, some DIY skills, I'm all for it." So your theory has been proved correct so far. And Fox says, "It's been good for a Sunday, 32 likes. Not too bad, Mr. Fox. Not too bad, to be fair. Could have been worse. I've had worse streams. Like I said, the other day, we were like 50 minutes in and we had like 14 likes. And I was like, wow, how the mighty have fallen. But yeah, for a chill little Sunday stream, not too bad. And I think maybe from the update from Huntsman earlier, 1 or 2 more subs. So yeah, could have been worse. And thank you as always to every single person that's hung out, vibed along with me, been part of the crew this evening. It's always fun to have you guys here. And as always, it doesn't make sense without you being here. If there's no you, there's no me. I am but a mere figment of my own imagination. Well, not quite, but like the stream that makes sense. So to every one of the 6 people that are here right now, chilling along, and everyone else that was here earlier in the stream as well, big up to all of you guys. Foxy says, "YouTube is normally liking it on a Sunday, but they've clearly had their Weetabix this week." Exactly, Foxy. They've heard my prayers. The YouTube gods, the algorithm gods have heard my prayers. The interweb gods, the gods of the interweb have heard my prayers at the moment. So yeah, hopefully the stream has been better quality for you guys. And Bex also likes the look of the mounted boxing thingies. You can play it your music through it like a boxing dancing mat. Hit to the beat. Interesting. I can see how that would work. And I'm the best always says, "Just subscribed. Love your videos. Keep it up, please." Big up to you. I'm the best always. Thank you for joining the community. Great to have you with us. Thank you for jumping into the chat and saying hello. And yeah, what more can I say? Big up to yourself. And Sterney says, "I've been here for nearly 2 months." Sterney, trooper, weeks and weeks and weeks, almost at the month mark. Good on you. Foxy says, "Just say nice things about Bill Gates and YouTube and you'll do well on YouTube." Mr. Gates, if you hear me right now, you are a good person. You are not questionable. And YouTube, if you can hear me, if there are any powerful AI robotic systems working in the background that are listening to my every word for criticism of YouTube, let the record show that YouTube, I'm a fan of you.
Although I'm a superstar streamer who could choose to stream on any of the many fine streaming platforms out there, I chose you, YouTube. So please, show my stream to more people. Allow people to hit subscribe and join the vibe. In the name of the algorithm, amen. And with that being said, guys, on that poignant note, I'm going to say thank you so much for joining. Big up to absolutely everybody that was here. Everybody that was here earlier on. You guys rock. And it's typical fashion, just as I'm ending the stream, people are entering the room. But I will be back on Tuesday. 1% battery again. How is this happening? Obviously, I'm letting it die. But listen, I'll be back on Tuesday, 8 p.m. UK time. I'm having a day off tomorrow. I'm going to concentrate on editing the short, or at least uploading the short. So look out for a short tomorrow evening, 8 p.m. UK time. Will be of the pasta that I showed you at the start of this stream. And yeah, more videos to come. I'll be back on Tuesday, 8 p.m. UK time. Have a great rest of your evening, or day, or night. And I'll see you soon. So peace out for now and take care of yourself. Before I go, let me give a quick shout out to everyone I can see in the comments. So if you're watching the stream right now, jump in the chat, just say hi or yo or something like that, and I'll give you a shout out to end this stream. So with that being said, shout out to Sterny, shout out to Bex, shout out to Foxy, shout out to I'm the Best Always, shout out to Amber, shout out to Kaylin, Huntsman, everybody that I've missed. Shout out to you all. Pleasure to have you here. And STW says, hi Ed, hi Edward. Hello STW, not sure how to say your name, but shout out to you as well. Thank you for jumping in the chat. And very last thing, yeah, Bex is being respectful to the gods of YouTube and the overlords as well. So with that being said, see you on Tuesday, everybody. Have a great few days. Big up to yourself. Look after yourself. Stay hydrated. And I will see you on Tuesday at 8 p.m. UK time. And look out for the YouTube short tomorrow. Watch out for that one. All right, that's it, gang. See you soon. And bye.